run because the Spurs are still chasing their first NBA Finals since 2014. As we get you set from the Frost Bank Arena, it is Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Oklahoma City Thunder and San Antonio Spurs. Welcome back courtside. Maria Taylor, we've got the Hall of Famers here. Carmelo Anthony, Vince
Group
Carter.
Is back. The band is back.
Yeah, the band's back together with the birthday boy, Tracy McGrady, ladies and gentlemen. Is that why you came back? Because it was your birthday?
It's your birthday? Thank you, thank you. Yes, that's why I came back.
Okay.
I wanted the world to see the birthday boy. The world to see the birthday boy.
Yeah,
Y'all see him?
I'm going to move on fast because as you can see, he was ready for his moment. He was trying to get them to get a close-up in. Do not follow him, Jared, our director. Stick with us, the group. Let's talk about the Spurs. They seem to run out of gas in Game 3. And a look at the minutes played in this series might explain why. All 4 Spurs players you see on that list have just played the most minutes of their career over any 3-game span. Now, after a day of rest, we hear from the Spurs rookie Dylan Harper with Ashley Shamity. But first, it's Thunder's all-star Chet Holmgren, who spoke with Zora Stevenson just a little bit earlier tonight.
Chet, let's start with defense. How have you all as a group adapted your defense to meet the needs of this series?
Just by watching the film, seeing what the film shows us. It never lies, and just making the appropriate adjustments based on what we're seeing out there. The coaches have done a great job of that.
Your bench, 57 points in Game 2, 76 points in Game 3. People talk about staying ready, but how does that group embody that?
It started long before what we saw in the games. They come to practice and off days, and they come to the gym, put their head down, and go to work to make sure that they're ready for every opportunity, and we saw it the last 2 games.
And then lastly, when you all have won in this series, what have you done the right way?
I'd say have smart aggression. You have to be aggressive, but you have to be intentional with it. I feel like we've done a good job of that.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Dylan, to start, Coach mentioned guys just not 100% as you are going through this Western Conference final. So for you, to start, how are you feeling?
Feel good, feel better than yesterday. So, I mean, that's always a positive.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the OKC depth. That was a huge factor. What do you guys need to do to just be more involved coming off the bench for this Game 4?
I think really is master energy. I think for us, bench guys, me, KJ, Luke, Carter, Harrison, we all got to come in, I think, master energy. I think play with that same pace and competitive that the first group plays with.
You guys obviously started the game incredibly fast on Friday night. What do we need to do to sustain that for the entirety of the game?
I mean, the pace we was on, start the game was crazy, but maintain it. I mean, take good shots, and I think just limit turnovers and just play our game on the defensive side of the ball.
And then lastly, Victor mentioned post-game on Friday, we're going to see what we're made of. Backs against the wall, now down 2-1 in this series. What do you think this team is made of? How will you guys respond?
We responded every time, so I have the most faith in our team, utmost confidence, and I think we'll come out and just swing first.
Dylan, thank you so much. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
They do have confidence. They hadn't lost back-to-back games since early January. Meanwhile, we're keeping an eye on the storyline of J-Dub, Jalen Williams. He did not play in Game 3. He's dealing with a left hamstring injury. He's questionable still tonight. And remember, A.J. Mitchell, he's already out. That's the guy who has started in J-Dub's place for 7 games so far this postseason. But good to see J-Dub out and warming up and a smile on his face. Let's get to talking about this game. And for the Spurs, let's start at the top. Wemby. In Game 1, we saw what he did with the 40-20 game, and we know how many minutes he's played. We know what he's been through, birthday boy. But what does he have to deliver in a Game 4 in order to have success, get 1 win on this court against OKC in the series?
We need him to be a superstar. We need him to be the best player on the floor tonight, and that's dominating on the offensive end. We know what he's going to do on the defensive end. For me, offensively, he's got to do more. I know he's averaging 29 points, but that 29 in those 2 games, he was amazing in the Game 1. But the last 2 games, I don't think it was impactful for his team, especially Game 3. Game 4, he has to have his imprint on the offensive end like he had in Game 1, right? And I'm talking about a dominating performance. Interior, he has to take advantage of his matchups. I don't want to see him most of the game on the perimeter, right? He has to pull gravity, being inside, and giving that attention on the offensive end for his teammates to make them better. Now, if you're not making shots, right, that is a way that you can help your teammates. That is a way to make them better because you're pulling so much gravity, right, to be able to have them open on the perimeter. And hopefully they're knocking down shots. That's the one thing that OKC is doing that they're not doing is knocking down shots.
Let me just add real quick because you mentioned it, but Wemby said in his post game, I feel like the one thing I'm not doing well right now is making my teammates better, and that's the thing that I have to do better in Game 4.
But he is because they're getting wide open shots. He's
right
because
right
him being on the floor, he's making it
the
better.
plus minus tells the story.
You have to pay so much attention to him.
Yep.
The one thing I said in Game 2, and Game 3, and I'm going to say it again, they have to put him on the move. And I feel like if you're going to play physical, if you're going to grab him and hold him, get him on the move. Now, he's catching the ball with a live dribble, and you have Hartenstein, sometimes Chet, you have them chasing you. Now you can be aggressive, you can kind of dictate, and sometimes manipulate the call, if you would, when need be. But I think that puts him on the move, and that kind of gets him into the fight. Right now, I don't think he's strong enough to out-physical and out-muscle Hartenstein. So sometimes get him on the move, kind of go it through their chest and go finish and get yourself to the free throw line, get some easy shots. But continue to get guys open as well.
Let me ask you this. Who's a player that you play with that is way stronger than you? I want to ask you that question.
That's a great question.
No.
A few,
right. And you were able to hold your position and post up.
Different time.
What you mean different time?
I mean, he doesn't. Right now, I don't think he's the best post player. He doesn't post up well. He allows guys to. So what I'm saying is play in the post. But sometimes, what about the cross screens back in the day? What about some of the Iverson cuts to the post to get him on the move? Now play in the post that way instead of just try to straight roll down there and sit and run. That's not working.
It all comes back to the post.
Correct. I agree.
To be closer
just
to
on the
basket.
move. Yes.
I love listening to these two cousins when they go at it.
We missed that.
Again, I'm still a student of the game. For me, I just want Wemby to be able to make the adjustment. But he knows, Isaiah Hartenstein is on him. Move him around, get him on the perimeter, see if you can get away from him, create some space. And when he's out the game, you have to be dominant in the paint. You cannot let Caruso guard you down there in the paint one-on-one. You cannot let anybody on OKC guard you one-on-one in the paint. So it's really about having that duality of being able to get out there on the perimeter when you have bigs on you, but also when it's a mismatch, go down there and be dominant the way you were in Game 1.
Yeah, Game 1 he had 26 points in the paint, and Game 2 just 10, and Game 3 just 10. We'll see if that ticks back up here. Since we have Alex Caruso right now, that's the shot. Let's talk about the OKC bench. 76 points off of the bench, set a playoff franchise record, which was more than impressive. But that also starts to explain the on-off numbers of Wemby. It's because the second wave of OKC, they wear you down throughout the course of a game.
Listen, if I would have asked you guys who was the third best player in this series, you definitely wouldn't have said Caruso. He's the third best player. You talk about the superstar.
Second best scorer right now.
Wemby. Yeah. No. I'm talking about overall in the series. I'm talking about overall, both teams.
I agree.
Right? You talking about the superstars, Shai and Wemby. This guy has been the third best player when you talk about the role players. I mean, I've been around this game for almost 30 years. I haven't seen a role player have this type of impact on a series. He's been phenomenal. Defensively, he's a disruptor. Offensively, and we talked about this when he was in the regular season, right? Their game plan is to leave the others open, right? Caruso, leave these guys open because Shai has so much attention on him. And they had a game in December where he was 2 for 12 on the three-point.
Yeah.
Well, that as a player, as a vet, you take that in stride and understand coming into this series how they're going to play you. And these are the shots that he was getting in that December game, and he's getting in this series, and he's knocking those shots down at a high clip, and San Antonio is paying for it.
You want to know what that clip? That number
60%.
61%.
Yes, it is.
14 for 23 from the three, and it went from, yes, here's one of the guys we're going to leave open if you make shots, so what, to no, we can't get to him. But Caruso is that veteran and that champion that knows how to play the game. He's going to find a way to be effective, but make the game easier for his superstar. And that's a scary combination, particularly when you're hitting shots. He's shooting 61 from three, but he's shooting 61% from twos as well.
Absolutely.
So he's not just settling for threes. He's also, hey, you're going to run me off the line? Fine. I'm going to get in the paint, and I'm not settling. I'm going to take the best shot for my team. So, yes, he's been sometimes the second best player in this series as well.
I agree.
Yeah, he was plus 28 in game 3. Like you said, shooting at that 61%. And remember in game 1, he actually guarded Wemby the most. He had the most reps and time spent on Wemby having to defend.
Game 1?
Yeah, game 1.
And what happened?
And then Isaiah Hartenstein came
No, what happened in game 1?
Wemby had 40-20.
This is what I'm trying to say.
That's not what we're talking about. Okay? Hey, listen. Let's talk about some of the super fans that are in the building. These are the Salesian sisters of St. John Bosco. They have been super fans of the Spurs since back in the Pop days, okay? They've been rooting on Tim Duncan. Greg Popovich. Pop days. Early Tim Duncan days.
Luke, career high tonight.
Yeah, but right now they're blessing